You like that one?
Yeah,
You seem to.
feeling quite a nice vibe on this one.
It sings very well, that one does. After listening to all three next to each other, just like that.
Okay.
That one speaks the most to me, in my opinion.
So what have we got here then? We have got Salma Celes alto. Started with the Yanagisawa AW01 and moved on to the 62. Again, another comparison video. The whole idea of this is that these are the saxophones that are often talked about at this kind of key price point, the sort of entry level professional instruments. You've had your Yamaha 275, 280, something like that, and then you're looking to move up to the next step. Perhaps ignore those intermediate instruments, but just move up to that, sort of serious contender stage. And these three are sort of asked about so much. They're so popular in people's kind of psyches, aren't they? So we just thought we'd put them up for a bit of a comparison.
A little showdown.
A little showdown, yes. So expand on what you were just saying there. So just mention the Celes.
Yeah, so the Celes, I was really enjoying listening to that one. I felt, compared to the other two, I think it did have a little bit more body to the sound. It sounded like there was going to be a little bit more resistance there. I don't know if you felt like that behind the horn. On the Yanagisawa, it was a very sweet sound, a very precise sound, and it wasn't miles away from the Yamaha. The Yamaha might have had a little bit more presence, more treble to the sound, but I think in between the three of them, the Yanagisawa kind of sits slap bang in the middle, I would say. You've got your Celes being a little bit more of a darker, richer sound, and then the Yamaha, it is in your face, but it can be tamed as well, which I do like about Yamaha, because they are free blowing. You can reduce the amount of air that goes through it, obviously, but they're all very good horns.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And I mean, my feeling there as the player behind the instruments, you've definitely got that resistance level. It's a nice resistance in the Salma here. Quite a sort of light, lacy sound. For me, it kind of borrows lots of tonal qualities from the Series 2. If I had to compare it to any of the three major current production horns within Salma, it definitely lends itself most to the Series 2. I remember doing a recent video actually comparing this to the Series 2, and I felt it just had those characteristics on a slightly lighter scale. So the Series 2 just had a little bit more punch forward, and this is just a little bit more retained in its voice. But it clearly, the Celes contains all those sort of Selma characteristics that we kind of know and love, if you like. But Selma have managed to produce this instrument at a price point whereby it's not going to cost as much as a series, an expensive Series 3 or reference. So they've done a great job in doing that, and thereby feeding it into the market at the same kind of price point as these really well-known entry-level.
Because before it came onto the scene, those two were the only main options really.
They were the two big options.
Two big options that a lot of teachers would recommend their students go for or whatnot.
Yeah.
But now this has came on, it's really it's changed the game in a way.
Yeah, it has. I think it's sort of made it interesting for a lot of teachers who clearly recommended these two before. Now they're starting to recommend this as a model to put into that mix of the three. I mean, just talking about the others for a minute. I mean, I have a Yanagisawa but older series, so the 901, and it's very similar. Which one? Where are we? Yeah, this one. I mean, it's very similar in many ways. It's got for me, the thing about Yanagisawa is they produce a great horn. Obviously, it ticks all the right boxes. The tone's nice and even. It's beautiful, kind of ripe sort of sound. But in particular, for me, what makes the Yanni stand out as being different from the Yamaha, which is the sort of close comparison, obvious one to compare it to, is that the sound has its own sound. It's already got a sort of a middly sound to it that's very attractive, that you don't have to particularly work for. The sound is just there in front of you. With the Yamaha, it's a little bit more of a blank canvas sound. It's just a nice normal sound, and if you have to put any particular kind of colouring on it, you have to do that yourself, whether it's your own playing, you feed through it, or your setup choice, you reed and mouthpiece setup.
So what is the colour?
Just tends to sing itself a little bit more.
What would you say? You're using the word colour. What would you say that colour is on the Yanni then?
What in terms of being technical, in terms of like frequencies? I mean, it feels like it's got a lot of mids in there, and then feeding into the highs, so it just sort of rings through a little bit more. It's a sort of very...
It's a bit more rounded in there.
Yeah, peachy, buoyant sound. I think when you hear just a tone on it, you go, ooh, I mean, some people may say it's a bit overly bright, if you're not careful.
Yeah, because when you were playing it then, you seemed to enjoying playing it. You played it for a while, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was obviously you were gelling well with the instrument.
Right.
Maybe more so than you might have done with the Yamaha. That's how it sounded, how you were getting on with it.
Okay. Might be because it was the first one I did, and I was just warming up and just trying to remember how to play the alto, and then I kind of got bored halfway through on the Yamaha. Who knows? But felt like I've had enough of this now. It's time to stop. I think that there's definitely more kind of colour in there in the sound of this one than the Yamaha. The Yamaha is nice, and it ticks every box. The intonation is very good. It's very similar. I've done some very kind of close comparisons of intonation between Yanagisawa and Yamaha in the past, and I really didn't find many differences there when checking it, very particularly with a tuning meter as well. And the Axos as well, it's really in the same ballpark, excellent intonation there. But it does stand out to me as the one that's sort of separate from the two Japanese ones.
It is, yeah.
Because it goes in that, French direction, I suppose.
You're getting that sound, that Selma sound for a good price as well. It's it's really... I mean, if I was to sit here and play a Series 2 and you were to be on the Celes, they wouldn't be worlds apart. I mean, the Series 2 might be a little bit nicer to play, but in terms of the sound, it comes close. Like it's if that's the kind of sound you're looking for.
Yeah, sure.
But they all sound really good.
Yeah. So I think what we're saying here is we're not dissing any sax in particular. We're actually saying they're all really good for their own purposes. I think sort of maybe in the middle you've got the Yamaha with that blank canvas thing, and then you've got the Celes there with its traditional sort of Selma sound that you kind of work towards and you work for rather, and you can hear that tonality straight away. And then the free-speaking Yanagisawa that just has its sort of own voice. That would be my kind of summary of the three instruments at a very similar price point. Well.
Yeah.
I think
that's it.
Pretty much ends the discussion on those three popular saxes. So thanks for viewing. If you like this video, give us a like on the video. Don't forget to leave the comments, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already.